Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Today in Warframe, we're going to be talking about the best time to play Warframe. And no, I'm not talking about best time of a day or anything, as you can just quickly look online to see that it's just like early morning, 8 a.m. to like 12 a.m. ET, something like that, right? But no, I want to say, what is the best time that you've had playing Warframe? I would say for most people, it's probably the earliest 0 to like 200 hours in Warframe. We recently went over how much time everyone's gone in Warframe. Looks like a lot of people do have tens of, if not hundreds of hours in the game already. I myself on in-game Warframe have, I think it said 900 hours. On Steam I have like 3,000 hours because not in mission hours, AFK hours, chatting hours, right? Just messing around in general. But I want to know, what's everyone's best time that they've had in Warframe? So the reason it's probably earlier on in the game, I want to say for a game like Warframe, early game, you start discovering and learning everything about the game. You realize what you can do, what you need to do, right? Your limitations, you're figuring out modding, checking out all the warframes, weapons, realizing, oh no, there's a ton that I need to do and a ton to unlock. So early game Warframe is just quite simply figuring out the game. After you start figuring out the game, you'll start unlocking more warframes, you'll start having more play styles, and everything will start getting a little bit easier. I don't know if it's the same for you guys as it was for me, but I feel like a lot of people got into Warframe either just checking out free-to-play games, or they got a friend who introduced them into this game. You know, let me know, I'm kind of curious, because I believe I had a couple friends that were playing the game, and I decided to start playing again. I checked it out very early on, like when it released, a couple months after, and I only played for an hour before I dropped it, and then I jumped back on in 2015. Daily reminder, if you want to support the channel, sub, like, favorite. You can check out my Twitch. You can use Epic Game Store creator code Pupsker, and really just following me on any social medias and checking out any of my stuff always helps, so thank you. Right? So I got introduced early-ish on into the game by some friends, and early on in the game, I just casually played, ran those tier 4 survival void keys. I think they were called void keys, and it was like tier 1, 2, 3, 4 void, survival, defense, etc. The good old days, you know, original old Warframe. Didn't even have Plains of Eidolon. Fortuna didn't exist. Deimos, get out of here. Angels of the Zariman, not even a thing. The New War, didn't even talk about it yet, right? Crazy times early on in a Warframe. I was still playing a ton of League back then. No-lifing World of Warcraft a lot too. Woo, those were different times, right? 2015-ish. Yeah, those were different times, and I feel like if a lot of people have been playing for a while, they may understand what I'm talking about. If you're new or early on into Warframe, welcome. Hopefully you're having a fun time. The game is honestly at this point 9 years in. It is a long-standing MMO light game because it's not a full MMO, but it's not an MMO. It shares many aspects that an MMO would have. So it's MMO light or like. You go around all of the star chart, but if you're early on, you can do this in publics, and eventually you can just get carried randomly. So the early on Warframe experience these days can be very weird. A lot of people, they get taught, shown, and check out with their friends like early on in the game, or they know someone who plays the game and they show them. You might, and not surprisingly if you're watching this channel, probably ended up looking up a lot of guides. Hell, I created a lot of guides because that's what I do. right? It's a very confusing and weird game for the first while, so there's a lot that you have to understand. Generally, if your friends don't like teach you about any of that, they don't take you through the game, a lot of your time may be spent on Warframe YouTube, Warframe Wiki, a bunch of different Warframe resources. At this point, there's just so many videos and guides and creations around Warframe out there. It's a 9-year-old game, right? You have a plethora of resources at your hand in order to gain the knowledge you need. Some of it's for fun, some's just pure knowledge, right? So early on Warframe, whew, it's a mess, but at least these days, there's so many different resources you can check out to learn about it if you don't have friends like teaching you and taking you through the game, that it doesn't even matter. You're gonna generally have a decent enough time as long as you're willing to like sit down, learn the random stuff, check everything out. The game is seemingly pretty aimless at a lot of points, you know, after certain quest log points, right? You've completed a certain quest, you maybe just don't know what to do. The game can definitely be aimless, especially once you complete all those main quests. That's why I'm saying, like, probably early on, first 200 hours of Warframe are the best. You get to learn about the game. You get to play through the quests. Like, that's such a important part of Warframe, is getting to play through all of the quests, like the main story quests, the interesting story quests the very first time through. And then nowadays, since the new war is actually out, you can play a lot of quests pretty quickly and just go through the main quest line and get a pretty complete storyline around a lot of Warframe, ending out at Angels of the Zariman, the new war, right? Those are decent enough stopping points. I'm not saying the Warframe like story is perfect or it's ever ending. No, there's a lot that are still going on. A lot of fixes, you know, a lot of changes are going to be made going on, you know, don't worry about it. But that right now is a good stop to the story, right? We have Angels of the Zariman, the new war. We know where the next general idea of Warframe may go, but from there, we're pretty chill. We don't fully know. Warframe always has pretty interesting quests here and there. They have pretty garbage quests here and there. They have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But luckily, the main storyline quests, even if they're not perfect, they are pretty solid, right? So the first time you get to experience everything in Warframe is the best experience in Warframe, right? At this point, I'm 1,000 hours in-game hours in the game, like 3,000 on Steam. I've done everything I care to do in Warframe. I've done everything I need to do. Nowadays, we're just chilling, making guides, making commentary videos, hanging out over Twitch, over on YouTube, streaming, and just chilling, right? Like, we're playing really whatever we feel like, along with our daily Warframe videos, right? We've beaten the game, but we haven't beaten everything. We could make technically a video on every single item in Warframe, right? Like every weapon, every Warframe, every sentinel, every companion, every arc wing, every arc gun, every arc melee. That on its own would be 700 and something videos, right? Like, Warframe is a big MMO with an endless amount of things to create content on. So I'm like, I'm not worried about that. And then we can always play other games, guys. We have the Fortnite that we play sometimes. Like, I've played some Lost Ark, got our solid Bloons Tower Defense. I play Teamfight Tactics. We have games coming out constantly. Elden Ring was a lot of fun. Dying Light 2 was, you know, pretty chill. I think I'm going to be playing Borderlands 3 since I got it free on the Epic Game Store. You know, if you ever pick anything up, again, use Epic Game Store creator code Pupsker. So there's just so many games. I'm in my end journey of Warframe where I just casually play it. But I bet a lot of you aren't in your end journey of Warframe. You're in the beginning to mid stage of Warframe, the good times where you get to learn about the game, start destroying everything. So, as always, right? Just have fun with Warframe. Take it at your own pace and just chill with it. It's not a super serious game. You can play it seriously where you try and just build for level 9999 enemies. It might be a pain in the butt, But I mean, you can do it. Most people just play to chill, farm, hang out with friends. You can be a trader. You can just so many different things you can do. But I would say the best time to play in Warframe is the early game of Warframe. Not like any time of day, time of year, or anything like that. No, no, no. The early mid-game of Warframe just seems to be the best of Warframe. Once you complete the questline, for a lot of people, that might be a decent place to stop, you know? It's going on for 9 years. There will be more quest lines. There will be more stuff. So, yeah. As always, though, that's it for this video. Just wanted to have this little chat. Like, sub, favorite. Don't know why I bother saying favorite, but you know what? I never know what platforms videos go out on. So, yeah, check out all my stuff, guys. And I will see you next time. Peace.